We did it. Are we at the end of the road? No. Are we at the end of a road? Yes. The road of this trilogy. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm gonna need a vacation when this whole thing is done. I didn't know it was possible to be this stressed about fictional situations. It's almost like when I'm reading it, I can just block certain things out because I'm the one making the movie. But when I'm watching the movie, I'm in a jail cell of pain and bereavement. Of course, we're gonna do a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, but let's recap what we know. Peeta is not having the best time. Katniss has a crushed windpipe. And Philip Seymour Hoffman is dead. The actor, not the character. The character is still alive and well, which makes me think if they already knew at the end of the last one he was dead, what did they do here? Is it some janky shit? Is it like when they brought back Tupac at Coachella? It feels good to get baby bubble. I don't know, but we're going to find out all of that and more on this episode of I Forgot to Buy a Nose Ring and Keep Doing My Dylan Bit. Oh, God. His hands did that?
Okay, I know, I'm sorry. I know it's a little tender.
Why do doctors and nurses do that when they're poking the bit that looks like it just got hit with a baseball bat? Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Oh, I don't know. Is it going to hurt when I put you through a glass window? This is the worst. I am begging her to stop speaking.
We're going to test his response on someone he remembers from home.
Are they putting Prim in there? They're not supposed to put Prim in there. This does not happen. They're supposed to put a girl in there who doesn't have an association to anything related to Katniss in the slightest so that that little like communist deep secret thing doesn't go off and he doesn't choke the living shit out of the person he's talking to. And being that that's the thing that they're trying to avoid here, maybe don't put Katniss's sister in the bad place.
There was an attack on 12. It's because of Katniss.
It wasn't because of her.
She'd tell you to say that.
Get her out. Get her out. Get...
This is just a conditioned response. It's not him.
No, it's not him.
This is just going to be another 2 hours of me saying the words I hate, because this is what happens. It too quickly goes from somebody that she was like losing her mind over saving to her narrative to at least what she pushes to other people is that she no longer cares about him because that's not him. And if this is true to the story, for the rest of this movie, it's just going to be her not caring what happens to him in the slightest until they get married, which is, you know, a choice.
So, Peeta, I don't stand a chance if he doesn't get better. I'll never let him go.
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the time to do that.
It's like kissing someone who's drunk. Doesn't count.
I hate. Although that scene did actually happen and she asked him if he'd ever actually kissed somebody who was drunk. And he joked and he was like, I've kissed all kind of girls. Except he wasn't joking because he's a tongue slut. Unverified, but that's my theory.
Two-tiered explosion. You allow people enough time to rush in, help the wounded, then...
A second bomb.
And here's the debate of the fandom, right? Are the Machiavellian principles positive or negative? Being, do the ends justify the means? Gale thinks yes. Katniss thinks no. Most of you think no. I am going to keep watching. Oh, Game of Thrones. Sir Lady something. The bodyguard. I'm not a huge fan. I don't know her name.
With that kind of thinking, you can kill whoever you want. You can send kids off to the Hunger Games to keep the districts in line.
The really interesting thing about that line is that she votes for that exact same thing when all of this is done. I don't know if they're going to put that in this movie, but when this war is done, they vote whether or not to have another Hunger Games, and Katniss votes yes, to put the children of the capital into it.
Turn your weapons to snow!
Antonius, what did we celebrate?
The death of the Mockingjay, sir.
They can't possibly think she's dead. Snow doesn't think she's dead. He's not that dumb.
You have a habit of burying people before they're dead.
Is he going to kill this guy? He's going to kill this guy. The question is it now or after dinner? Oh, it's now. Okay, we're just killing people in front of people now. Cool. If there's anything that these people should have learned after Fishboy's speech, it's that you don't accept a drink from President Snow. I knew the moment that touched his lips, that guy was dead. Jesus Christ. Joanna looks like that kid from Toy Story. God, she's looking brutal.
So what are your injuries?
Bruised ribs, bruised lung.
I'm surprised they haven't found you a new lung.
People keep asking me to comment on the friendship between Joanna and Katniss. What are you guys talking about? There is no point at which these two ever like each other. One of them is currently stealing the other one's drugs. No.
You've looked better.
You're not remotely nice to say that to me now.
I was never the nice one. You were.
See, this is why this dynamic just doesn't work for me. Like, the whole storyline. She's lashing out at PETA, the person who is very nice to her and everybody else, sweetheart angel of a man, when she should be lashing out at the Capitol. It doesn't track with me. It feels forced.
Why would I take a beating like that for you?
Because you were kind and generous, and people said you loved me.
I finna go there.
This is all we get? We don't even get a backstory? This is the only hope I had. It's not happy enough to heal the sadness within me. Oh, dancing. Anytime there's a dance like this in a movie, I always wonder, how do they know how to do it exactly like that? Who partners with who and who breaks off when? It looks like a lot of fun. I've just never seen it in real life. Ah, that'll fool them. No one will recognize that bow and arrow with that pulled up over your face like that. This is the equivalent of Joe walking around with a baseball cap. Also, I don't think this is how this happens. Somebody should do a counter throughout these videos and see which one I say more. Either I hate this or that's not how this happens.
We'll converge in the center of the city at Snow's mansion, where we won't just unlock his gates, but unshackle all of Pan Am.
Just gonna throw this out there. This is the right call for the story, but it's really bad war tactics. What you should do is a siege. You just keep all of the supplies out from going into the city, let them run out of food and water, and then they come to you. And had they done that, Finnick wouldn't have died.
I suggest that you stay with your unit.
She loading a pistol? Has she had a pistol this whole time? I can promise you that's more effective than a bow.
I'm Lieutenant Jackson, and I want to introduce you to your squad.
Finnick?
No, just stay home, Finnick.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 76th Hunger Games.
It's not funny, Finnick. It's you, dude. You fucking die. Oh, it's a really pretty city, though.
I don't think we can get across this minefield.
Not without that hollow.
Let's make sure we're on the same watch tonight.
It is just so hard for me to hate Gale. Not from a romantic place. I said in the book video that all that's dead. I actually don't think that she should have ended up with PETA or Gale. I think everybody should have gone to their own separate corners, lived on a farm, happily ever after in their own peace. But Gale is a foxhole guy, and you want swingers in your corner when you're in a foxhole. Not the sex people, you know what I'm talking about. She's from True Blood, by the way. If I see it, I gotta call it out, okay? Plays a very, very bad person in True Blood. I forgot for the briefest of seconds that he was gonna be here. Dude, he is out of his gourd. Why would you put him in the field?
Give me a watch.
And if it really came down to it, you think you could shoot him?
I wouldn't be shooting PETA. Be killing a Capitol mutt.
And then they get married at the end. It's such a shitty storyline.
It was PETA that she wanted rescued from the arena. She never liked you. She doesn't like anybody or anything she can't control.
A lot of these speeches, though, are word for word from the book, and I love that. I love when an adaptation tries to stick to it as much as they can.
Friend, lover, victor, fiance, enemy, mutt, and now ally. Yeah, I'll add that to the list of words I use to try to figure you out.
That guy in the background's awake. Like, it's such an awkward conversation to have with this guy just, like, listening in. Oh, they're all awake.
You're a painter. You're a baker. You always sleep with the windows open. You were right. I can't do this.
And we're right back to having feelings for him. It's just, it's so odd. Isn't it? Am I the only one that thinks this?
Guess we're not leaving anymore.
Gale, you little bitch, now is not the time. I don't know if I've mentioned this up until this point, but so much of the imagery of these stories reminds me of World War II. The heartbreak and the destruction of the cities, the uniforms from the Capitol, which feels intentional. Just really good imagery all around, but heartbreaking, difficult imagery. No. Not like this. Not now.
What did you just do?
Katniss, don't trust them. Kill Peter.
This always bugged me. How much did he know? Like, does he know what Coin's actual plan is? Boggs wasn't in on the killing of the children, was he? Who's yelling right now, and why aren't they helping them? Oh, mother. Oh, they're actually doing the black stuff. PETA, bad timing, dude. Ah. The noise on that was disgusting. That sounded like he was in a manually turned blender. The anxiety and the dread are in full effect. This has tequila in it, by the way. It's not helping.
As your new unit commander, I order you to transfer security clearance to me now.
Foxhole guy. Foxhole guy.
She's telling the truth.
Foxhole girl. I like her a lot. I like anybody that'll step in front of a gun for a friend. That'd actually be so cool if the city center looked like this. Just like light colors on top and blacked out. Never mind. I forgot he was up there.
Today, as our peacekeepers valiantly hold off the rebels.
Oh, fuck you, Flickerman. He was one of my favorites. That two-faced little bitch. You know, he always pretended to be their friend and care about them, and then he goes and says that. Traitorous bitch.
Sir, should I call for your doctor?
Well, I hope you're waking me for something more urgent than an old man's help.
This is really good foreshadowing. I think that they're doing that to try and maintain that meaningless when he dies. Dude, if I ever end up in a situation where I gotta be in water underground, fucking kill me. There's never not human waste in it. This is the kind of behavior that caused the Black Plague. No. Nope.
What is that?
We gotta go. We gotta get out of here now. Months. They released months.
This is my nightmare. I didn't sign up for a scary movie, dude. It's too quiet. Like, what? Something's gonna happen. When is the thing gonna happen? Just get it done with. No. God. Fucking. This is such ass. I don't do scary. I don't know if you've picked up on that. I don't like it. I don't want to participate in it. I don't want to see it. You know, when I picked up the first book, I picked up a young adult novel. Do you get that? I'm about to say a sentence, and I know how stupid this sounds, but just bear with me for a second. It was a young adult novel about teenagers killing each other. That is what I thought I was getting. I am now watching demonic dogs run through a blackened underground sewer, tearing people to shreds. I just don't understand where I went wrong in my assumptions. Where is the pistol that they gave you, dude? You see how much faster it is when you just use a pistol? No, dude, you don't give up your weapon. No. When he screamed her name, I wanted to cry. I hate this movie. Second favorite character. Just boop. Done. Blown up. Cool. Pause. Annie is now a widow. Ah! What the? Just heat beams of light? Just destroying people? There's gotta be a better system than just running straight through them. That's just adding insult to injury. You didn't need to put that poster there. I will say, I do agree with the decision to make this 2 movies. Like, you might have been able to put everything together into one 3-hour movie, but it's unnecessary.
I can't sleep. Yeah, I haven't slept in days either.
Oh, this was one of my favorite scenes in the book. They have an actual, genuine, like, heart-to-heart conversation.
I should have volunteered to take your place in the first games.
She needed you to be there and take care of her family, and you did. She really loves you.
No, you won her over. You gave up everything for her. I do know that Katniss will pick whoever she can't survive without.
I do have significant issues with what they actually talk about because I don't think Katniss ever chooses anything, but I do love that moment between them because you would expect it to be fueled by like jealousy and hatred. And instead it's just like this mashing of facts that probably hurt both of them to listen to. I like it. Very good. Very good.
All refugees, come to my home. There you will be provided with food, medicine, safety for your children.
This scene never happened, but this is a good way of them showing the beginning of the plan to use these people as a human shield. It also, in the movie verse, is probably when Coin would have devised her plan for the bombing.
Stay alive.
If I see you again, it's gonna be a different world.
I do like this scene, though. It feels reminiscent of the second Hunger Games, when it seemed like they actually did have feelings and care for each other. Oh, Demon Child. That kid's just got an untrustworthy face. Okay, I have to tell you about this because what actually happened was so much worse. The Demon Child, I thought that was the child who in the book actually recognizes Katniss and is about to say something when the adult that the child is with gets shot from a rooftop. And then everybody starts to panic like they are now. And then the child like leans over the body of the parent that they're with, just gets Gatling gunned. I can maybe see why they omitted that from the movie. Oh, you gotta shoot him, Katniss. You promised him you would. He doesn't have a nightlock. He gave it to Peeta. You have to shoot him. So you know what sucks about that is I fundamentally believe that if it was Peeta, she'd have shot him. Am I wrong about that? Oh, no. No, it's time. I'm going back in my hole. This is the worst. No, 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 no. You're not going to make me watch this. There's no chance they're going to show this. There's children. It's a bunch of children. Yep. That is so fucked up. Don't. I got nothing, man. This just... It happens so fast. When it came up in the book and when it comes up here, the first thing that I think about is that I have a little brother.
That's a nice one. The colors are lovely, of course.
I have a lot to say about what's about to happen.
I wanted to tell you how very sorry I am about your sister. I must concede it was a masterful move on Coin's part. I'm sure she wasn't gunning for your sister, but these things happen in war.
This is one of those moments where I'm so on the fence about who Snow is as a person. Because this speech is very accurate to the book. He wanted to toy with Katniss so much. He was upset by how much Katniss had to do with swaying everything. But where my issue lies is that a really good villain is somebody who believes that they're the good guy. Meaning he believes he's doing the thing that is for the betterment of humanity. And I got that vibe from Snow in the first movie. And then moments like this pop up and that is no longer the case. Now he just feels like a vindictive old man who's mad at a teenager. And it's one of the reasons why I'm really excited about the prequel, because I want to see what his actual motivators are and if the logic tracks through his actions to the end.
Was it ours? The bomb? The delayed explosion? Is that you?
I don't know.
Goodbye, Gale.
Not how this happened. And I am now thoroughly convinced that this movie is the reason why people dislike Gale so much. Don't get me wrong. A conversation happened between them, but those were not the words and that was not the tone. It was made extremely clear that Gale had no idea what President Coin was doing. And through Katniss's internal monologue, we know that she wanted to forgive him for the part that he did play even unknowingly. God, that's a long walk. They're gonna walk that whole thing? Oh, there he is. He was very clearly painted into that, but I'll take it. Why is he strapped to the post like that? He looks like a protester, not a prisoner. Why do I feel nothing right now? This is exactly how I felt with the book. Like, it's this pinnacle, huge moment, and it just didn't hit me.
If you don't be a stranger.
Oh, okay. I guess they're doing that now.
She's gone.
Oh, and the cat. That fucking cat.
Get out! Prim is gone! Prim is gone! She's dead! And she's not coming back! Get out! Get out!
Alright, I feel it now. It's genuinely remarkable how they made a cat such an emotional fixture of this story.
I found these, over by the edge of the forest. It's primrose.
She almost had an emotional breakdown in the book because she thought that he was planting like roses, and that reminded her of President Snow, but then she realized that it was primroses and hugs him.
And I am loving every moment with my son. It reminds me every day of his father. I hope you're both finding some peace. Manny.
Oh, they had a kid. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's the closest I'll ever get to feeling something again.
You love me. Real or not real?
Real.
This is what I don't like about it. I am completely fine with needing an emotional crutch after you've gone through something that horrific. But trauma bonding is a real thing, where you have gone through something so horrific that the only other person who can understand it is somebody who has also gone through it. That's what this is. It is not love. They deserve to be happy. I'm not complaining about who ends up with who, but this is what I mean by, like, I just wish everybody went off into their own corners. Because I think that Peeta is going to be the genuinely in love person that he has been from the beginning. And I think that at the same time, he is only ever going to be an emotional crutch to her.
It's like a game. It gets a little tedious after all these years, but there are much worse games to play.
That's a good touch. Last line of the movies, the last line of the book. But I'll tell you the same thing I told the 100,000 people on TikTok. I'm not happy at the ending. I'm not sad at the ending. I'm not frustrated at the ending. I'm just relieved it's over. The whole experience for me has been like a top 5 most anxiety-ridden things I have ever done. You think I'm kidding about that like Twilight and Bluey shit? I'm not. Unless I see a better option in the comments that isn't going to give me cancer, we're going to watch a bunch of vampires play baseball. I don't need to gloss over any specific details. When I'm done with the Hunger Games as a whole, I'm going to do one more video going over comments and theories and all kinds of stuff that will encompass a review of everything that we went through. For now, I'll just say that at the end of Mockingjay Part 2, I am glad that they split it up into 2 different movies. Having read the book, I thought there really isn't a ton that goes on in this story. They're stuck in an underground bunker for like 80% of it. And then after that, they're just trying to make their way to the capital. And I thought, well, how do you split this up into 2 movies? But what you do is you draw out the emotion and sit in scenes a little bit longer and show those back-end conversations that Katniss wouldn't have been able to see. And I'm grateful for all of that time. I just realized though that I'm operating under the assumption that a Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes isn't going to have as much anxiety and death as this did. I don't know where I got that thought from, but I'm hoping it's true. I mean, I know it isn't going to be happy, but it's not going to be like this. Is it? Is it? But regardless, I think now would be a great time to subscribe so that you can see all the series that we do in the future. I'm going to maintain this 2-week posting schedule, most likely one for a book, one for a movie, but if you want to see different content, let me know. I'm open. This isn't a democracy, it is a dictatorship, but I'll listen, and that's more than Snow ever did for people. So thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.